Mr. Mayor and our council, this evening I'm honored to have been selected by my ecclesiastical colleagues to represent them as we express to our community and the leadership of our city our concerns. In light of the events surrounding our country and the questions swirling around concerning our place in this world, we must respond. What happened to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and too many others revealed what many of us already knew, but failed to acknowledge. The loss of those black lives, along with the racial disparities highlighted amidst COVID-19, has reminded us that America still does not have a vaccine for its deadliest virus, racism.
Yes. Yes.
Systematic racism and institutionalized oppression have created antagonistic approaches of policing in communities of color. We are outraged by the acts of domestic terrorism perpetuated against black people in this country. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. declared, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality tied in a single garment of destiny. We are filled with righteous indignation today over the crimes against humanity that render black lives expendable. The essential work of combating racism and racial inequality in our community is work that we all must be committed to in whatever sphere of influence we occupy, individually and collectively. To that end, the Chesapeake Coalition of Black Pastors stand against any and all police abuse, social inequalities, and racial injustices inflicted on African American persons. And we stand with the families of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and others in demanding that all those who inflicted their death be held accountable. While we agree that there are good policemen and good policewomen, it is the system of policing and structural racism that we must deal with. The Chesapeake Coalition of Black Pastors is demanding specific policies and procedures that powerfully address and dismantle racial injustices, hermeneutics of suspicion, slow response time regarding black people, and criminal consequences for police abuses. It is our belief that these are the first steps necessary in achieving social and racial equality in Chesapeake. We can no longer be silent. Silence is a betrayal. According to Proverbs 31, 8 through 9, in the New Testament, we are challenged to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, to ensure justice for those who are being crushed. Yes, the Bible says, speak up for the poor and the helpless, and see that they get justice. The Chesapeake Coalition of Black Pastors believes to move forward towards racial justice in this city of Chesapeake is to implement the following. Number one, appoint an equality liaison within the city manager's office to address the issues of cultural diversities within the city of Chesapeake's governmental structure. Number 2, a standing quarterly meeting with the Chesapeake Coalition of Black Pastors, the city manager, the equality liaison, and the police chief to discuss issues of concerns in communities of color. Number 3, an independent steering committee of diverse community leaders to serve as an oversight committee focused on reviewing policies related to training and policing communities of color. And finally, number 4, updated policies, procedures, and training regarding the use of force, de-escalation techniques, and cultural diversity training to be reviewed by the steering committee. The events of recent weeks make it clear that we have an urgent need for immediate and sustained action steps. We must now address racial inequalities in our nation, our Commonwealth, and in the city of Chesapeake. These steps intend to engage all elected officials, business owners, and clergy to take responsibility for fixing our present system and securing a better Chesapeake for the future. We believe that together we can form an alliance that will represent a voice of those whose interests has been underrepresented historically in our community. We believe that this alliance will ultimately provide communities throughout the city of Chesapeake with law enforcement that is committed to protect and serve equally. In the words of the prophet Amos, but let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream.
Yes.
Signed and delivered this day by the Chesapeake Coalition of Black Pastors, June 8, the year of the Lord, 2020.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, on behalf of these great men of God and women of God, we present to you an official copy of all that was just stated.
Something's gotta change. Things can't stay the same. Together we can make a difference. It doesn't have to be this way. Doesn't have to be this way. Together we can make a difference.